Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Your easy guide to English words you need to know. Let's go exploring far and near.
Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive. I am so happy you are here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
This is a very special deep dive into our source material.
Yeah.
Usually we take a huge stack of difficult articles or, business reports, and we talk about them very fast.
Very fast. We usually cover a lot of complex information.
But today,
Yeah.
we're doing something completely different.
Right. We are slowing things down today.
Yes, we are slowing down. We are going to take a journey to a beautiful place, and we're going to learn English while we travel.
I love this idea.
We have a lot of sources today. We have travel guides, history books, and maps. But our goal for you is simple. We want to be your guides to Acadia National Park.
That is right. And I am really excited about this. I mean, I love maps, I love history, and I definitely love the outdoors.
And your job today is to be the explorer, right?
Yes, exactly. I want to tell you the complete story of this land. I want to talk about the science and the deep history of the park.
And I'm going to be your language guide. I am focusing on what we call useful English.
The words you actually need when you travel.
Right. I want to help you understand the specific words you need to visit this park. We will talk about how to stay safe, how to book your tickets, and the words you need to know to have a great trip.
So if you are learning English, or if you just want to relax and hear a good story about nature, you are in the right place.
Exactly. Let us start with the basics. What is our topic today?
Today, we are exploring Acadia National Park.
Okay, and where is that?
It is in the United States, in the state of Maine.
Maine.
Yeah, Maine. That is in the very northeast corner of the country, right on the Atlantic Ocean.
Right, and Maine is famous for its coast. But, it is not like Florida or California.
No, not at all.
It is not sandy and hot. It is rocky, cool, and very green.
Exactly. And to understand Acadia, you have to look at the map. Acadia is mostly located on an island.
An island.
Yes. It is called Mount Desert Island.
Okay, let us stop there for a second. Mount Desert Island. That is a funny name.
It is a bit confusing, yeah.
Because when I hear the word desert, I think of hot sand, camels, and no water, like the Sahara Desert.
That is a very common confusion, but here it is different.
How so?
Well, a long time ago, a French explorer named Samuel de Champlain sailed by this island,
Okay.
and he looked up from his boat and saw the mountains.
What did he see on the mountains?
He saw that the tops of the mountains had no trees. They were just bare rock.
Just rock, no trees at all.
Right. So he called it, in French, l'île des monts déserts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in French, this meant the island of bare or deserted mountains.
So desert here does not mean dry and hot. It means empty of trees at the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And today, people pronounce it like dessert island, like the sweet food you eat after dinner.
Like cake or ice cream.
Mm.
That is good to know. So we have an island with bare, rocky mountains.
Yes.
But why does it look like that? Why are there no trees on top?
Well, this brings us to our first main section of the deep dive, the land and history. To understand the shape of this island, we have to look at the science. We have to go back in time.
How far back?
About 14,000 years ago.
Wow, 14,000 years. Okay, let us unpack this. I have a very important vocabulary word for our listeners right now. The word is glacier.
Glacier. That is a big word.
Can you explain what a glacier is?
A glacier is a huge sheet of ice.
A sheet of ice.
Right. But imagine ice that is not just on a small pond. Imagine ice that is 1 mile thick.
1 mile thick.
Yes, it covers absolutely everything.
So it is like a frozen ocean on top of the land.
Yes, exactly like that. And the important thing about a glacier is that it moves.
Ice can move.
It does. It moves very, very slowly, but it moves.
So 14,000 years ago, there was a moving glacier on top of Maine.
Yes, and because the ice was so thick and heavy, it crushed the land underneath it.
That makes sense.
As the glacier moved, it acted like giant sandpaper. Do you know sandpaper?
Yes, the rough paper you use to smooth wood. You rub it on the wood to make it flat.
Exactly. The glacier was like giant sandpaper. It scraped the tops of the mountains.
Oh, I understand now.
That is why they are bare and rocky today. The heavy ice scraped all the trees and soil away.
That is a very powerful image.
It really is, and it also created the valleys between the mountains. We call them U-shaped valleys.
U-shaped valleys, what does that mean?
Well, think about a normal river. A fast river cuts a sharp shape into the earth. It looks like the letter V.
Right, a V shape. very sharp at the
A
bottom.
glacier is wide and heavy, so it makes the valley round at the bottom. It looks like the letter U.
So when we visit Acadia National Park today, we are actually looking at a landscape made by ice.
Yes. And when that ice finally melted, the ocean water rose up.
Because the ice turned into water.
Exactly. The ocean filled those U-shaped valleys. That is why the island has such an interesting shape on the map today. It looks almost like the ocean is reaching its fingers into the land.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
But, the land was not empty after the ice melted. We talked about the French explorer, but people were there before him, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. People have been there for a very, very long time.
This brings us to our next important word for our listeners. Indigenous.
Indigenous. This is a key word for understanding North American history.
Indigenous means the people who were there first, the original people of the land.
Right, before any explorers arrived from Europe.
In Acadia, the indigenous people are the Wabanaki.
The Wabanaki.
Yes.
The sources tell us that the Wabanaki people have lived on this land for more than 10,000 years.
Wow. So the glaciers melted 14,000 years ago, and soon after that, the Wabanaki people arrived.
Correct. They have a very deep connection to this place.
It is their home.
Yes. For a tourist, the park is just a beautiful place to visit for a few days. But for the Wabanaki, this is home. It is their ancestral land.
This leads us to another very special word. It's a beautiful English word. Stewardship.
Stewardship. That is S-T-E-W-A-R-D-S-H-I-P.
Exactly. This is a noun. To be a steward means to take care of something. It's different from owning something.
How is it different from owning something?
Well, if you own a car, you can break it if you want. It is yours. But if you are a steward, you are responsible for it.
You have to protect it.
Right. It is like a parent taking care of a child or a gardener taking care of a garden.
Oh.
You want it to be healthy for the future.
That is a perfect definition. The Wabanaki have practiced stewardship of this land for thousands of years.
How did they do that?
They fished in the waters, they hunted in the forests, and they gathered plants. But they did it carefully. They respected the balance of nature.
And today, we can learn a lot from that. When we visit the park as travelers, we should also try to be stewards.
We should take care of it while we're there.
Exactly. If our listeners want to learn more about the Wabanaki, our sources recommend a specific place to visit.
Oh, yes. It is called the Abbey Museum.
The Abbey Museum. Where is it?
It is in the town of Bar Harbor, which is right next to the park. It is a wonderful museum.
What makes it special?
It is affiliated with the Smithsonian. It tells the complete story of the history from the Wabanaki perspective.
I think that is a must visit. It is important to respect the history of the people, not just look at the rocks.
I agree completely.
Okay, so we've discussed the ice and we discussed the history. Now, let us get practical. Let us talk about logistics.
Logistics. That means the organization of the trip.
Right. How do we move around? How do we get from place to place?
Because Acadia is a very popular park. Millions of people visit every summer.
Yes, it gets very crowded.
Uh,
So we need to talk about roads. There is one main road for cars, right?
yes, there is. It is called the Park Loop Road.
The Park Loop Road.
Yeah.
For our listeners, a loop is a circle. You start and end in the same place.
This road is 27 miles long. It goes to all the famous places in the park.
Like the beaches and the mountains.
Yes, the beaches, the cliffs, and the mountains. But there is a big problem.
Traffic.
A lot of traffic. In July and August, the Park Loop Road can feel like a parking lot.
Oh, no.
It is hard to drive, and it is very hard to find a place to park your car when you want to stop and look at something.
So what is the solution? I have a useful travel word for this. Shuttle.
A shuttle.
A shuttle is a bus. But it is a specific kind of bus. It goes back and forth between two places, usually on a regular schedule.
In Acadia, the shuttle system has a special name. It is called the Island Explorer.
The Island Explorer. And here is the best part. How much does it cost to ride it?
It is free.
Free. I love that price.
It really is the best way to see the park. You can leave your car at your hotel or at your campground.
And then you just get on the bus.
You get on the shuttle, and it takes you everywhere. You do not have to worry about driving, and you do not have to worry about parking.
That sounds much more relaxing.
It is very relaxing. The shuttle runs on propane, so it is clean for the environment, and the drivers are friendly. They know a lot about the park.
Okay, so we have the Park Loop Road for cars, if you are brave, and we have the shuttle, if you are smart.
Exactly.
But you mentioned something else in our planning meeting. You mentioned roads that are not for cars.
Ah, yes. This is my favorite part of the logistics. These are the carriage roads.
Carriage roads.
Yeah.
Let us explain the word carriage.
Okay.
A carriage is an old-fashioned vehicle. It has big wheels, And it is pulled by a horse.
Right. Before people had cars, they used carriages. Now, let me tell you a story from our sources.
I love a good story.
About 100 years ago, there was a very, very rich man named John D. Rockefeller Jr.
Rockefeller.
Yeah.
That is a famous American name.
Yes. His family was extremely wealthy, and he had a summer home on Mount Desert Island.
Okay.
But there was something he really did not like.
What was it?
He did not like cars.
He didn't like cars. Why not?
Well, in 1915, cars were new, they were loud, they smelled bad.
The smoke from the engine.
Yes, and they scared the horses. Rockefeller wanted to enjoy nature in peace and quiet.
I can understand that. Sometimes you want to hear the birds, not an engine.
Exactly. So he decided to build his own roads.
His own roads.
Yes, he used his own money. He built 45 miles of roads just for horses and walking.
45 miles. That's a huge project.
It was a massive project, and he didn't just clear a dirt path. He built them to last forever.
How did he build them?
He hired skilled workers. They used the local granite, which is the hard rock from the island, and they built 16 beautiful stone bridges.
The pictures of these bridges in our sources are amazing. They look like old castles.
They do. And Rockefeller was very careful. He wanted the bridges to look natural.
So they would fit into the forest.
Yes, he wanted them to blend in. So the stones are rough. They're not shiny or perfect.
So today, can we drive cars on these carriage roads?
No, absolutely not. Cars are still banned on these roads.
That is wonderful. So what can we do there today?
You can walk, you can run, you can ride a bicycle.
And in the winter?
When there is snow, you can go cross-country skiing.
It sounds so safe.
Yeah.
If you have a family with children, you can let them ride their bikes without worrying about traffic.
Exactly. It is a safe, quiet paradise right in the middle of a busy national park.
And you can see the gatehouses, right?
Yes. At the entrances to these roads, Rockefeller built houses for the gatekeepers.
What do they look like?
They look like beautiful old cottages from a storybook. They have thick stone walls and fancy roofs.
I really love that mix of history and nature. Okay, so we have our transport sorted out. We are taking the free shuttle, or maybe we are biking on the carriage roads.
Right.
Now, let us talk about the sights. What are we actually going to see?
Well, for most people visiting Acadia, the #1 site is a mountain. It is called Cadillac Mountain.
Cadillac Mountain, like the famous car.
Yes, it is actually named after the same French explorer Antoine de la Motte Cadillac. But the mountain is famous for its height.
How tall is it?
It is 1,530 feet tall. That makes it the highest point on the east coast of the United States.
That is quite high for an island right next to the ocean.
It is very high. And here's our next vocabulary word, summit.
Summit. S-U-M-M-I-T.
The summit is the very top of a mountain, the highest peak.
Everyone wants to go to the summit of Cadillac Mountain. But why? Is the view really good?
The view is incredible. You can see the dark blue ocean, you can see the other small islands, and the deep green forests.
That sounds beautiful.
It is, but there is a specific reason people want to go there very early in the morning.
The morning, you mean for the sunrise?
Yes, the sunrise.
Why is the sunrise there so special?
Because Cadillac Mountain is so tall, and
Yeah.
because it is so far to the east, it catches the sun first.
Oh, I understand.
For a large part of the year, it is the very first place in the entire United States to see the sunrise.
That sounds magical. To be the first person in the country to see the new day begin.
It is truly magical, but it creates a problem.
I can guess. Too many people.
Exactly. Everyone wants to see the sunrise. The road to the summit is narrow. The parking lot at the top is small.
So what happens?
In the past, it was a giant traffic jam at 4 in the morning. It was chaotic.
So this brings us to a very, very important travel skill. This is essential for our listeners. If you want to go to Cadillac Mountain, you need a reservation.
Yes, a vehicle reservation.
Let us define reservation. It means booking your spot before you go.
Right, like making a reservation at a busy restaurant.
Exactly. You cannot just show up and expect to get a table.
Yeah.
You cannot just show up and drive up the mountain.
This is crucial. Many visitors make a big mistake here. They buy a park entrance pass.
Okay, a pass to enter the park.
Yes, that pass lets you get into the national park.
But does that pass let you drive up Cadillac Mountain?
No, that is the confusion. You need the entrance pass to enter the park, but you need a separate reservation to drive your car up Cadillac Mountain.
I'm so glad we are clarifying this. How much does this special reservation cost?
It is cheap. The sources say it is only $6.
$6. That is a very good price. But how do we get it? Can we buy it at the gate when we arrive?
No, you must buy it online. The website is recreation.gov. You have to buy it in advance.
When should we buy it?
There are 2 times you can buy it. They sell 30% of the tickets 90 days in advance.
90 days. That is 3 months before your trip.
Yes. So if you are going in July, you should look on the website in April.
Okay. But what if I miss that? What if I plan my trip late?
Do not worry. They sell the rest of the tickets, the other 70%, 2 days in advance.
2 days before.
Yes. So if you want to drive up the mountain on Wednesday, you must buy your ticket online on Monday.
Is there a specific time?
Yes. Be ready at 10 in the morning Eastern Time. They sell out very fast.
This is great advice. And I have one more tip from our sources about this. What about the internet on the mountain?
The internet is terrible there. There is no cell phone signal.
So do not wait until you're at the gate to open your email to show your ticket.
No. You must print your ticket on a piece of paper, or you can take a screenshot on your phone before you leave your hotel.
What happens if you forget?
If you cannot show your ticket, the rangers will turn you away. They will make you turn your car around, and you will miss the sunrise.
We definitely do not want that. Okay, let us move from the high mountain down to the ocean. There's another famous spot our sources mention. It has a very dramatic name. It is called Thunder Hole.
Thunder Hole. This is a great place to see the power of nature.
What is it exactly? Is it just a big hole in the ground?
Not exactly. It is a small inlet.
What is an inlet?
An inlet is a narrow space of water between rocks. It is right on the rocky coast. And at the end of this narrow inlet, there is a small cave in the rock.
Okay, so we have rocks, water, and a cave.
When the big ocean waves come in, the water rushes into the narrow space. It fills the cave.
And then what?
It traps the air inside the cave. Then more water pushes in behind it. The air gets squeezed tightly. It creates very high pressure.
And then what happens to the air?
Eventually, the air bursts out. Boom! It makes a huge noise.
Like thunder in a storm.
Exactly like thunder. And often, the water sprays high into the air. It can go 40 feet high.
That sounds really exciting to watch.
It is, but you have to time it right. You need to know about the tide.
Tide. That is our next vocabulary word. Tide is the movement of the ocean water up and down. High tide means the water level is high. Low tide means the water level is low.
Correct. If you go to Thunder Hole at low tide, the water does not reach the cave. It is just a quiet, wet rock.
And what if you go at high tide?
If you go exactly at high tide, the cave is already completely underwater, so no air gets trapped, there is no boom.
So when is the best time to hear the thunder?
Our sources say the best time is 1 to 2 hours before high tide. That is when the action happens.
Okay, 1 or 2 hours before high tide. Now, we need to talk about safety. Because whenever there are big ocean waves, there is danger.
This is very serious. The rocks at Thunder Hole are granite. Remember the glaciers we talked about?
Yeah, giant sandpaper.
Right. They polished those rocks. They made them very smooth. So when the rocks are wet from the waves, they are extremely slippery.
Slippery. That means it is easy to fall down, like walking on ice or a wet floor in a kitchen.
Exactly. And the waves are unpredictable. Sometimes the ocean is quiet, and then a huge wave comes out of nowhere.
Have people been hurt there?
Sadly, yes. People have been swept away by the waves.
Swept away. You mean pulled into the ocean?
Yes. They get too close to the edge of the water because they want to take a good photo. They step on a slippery rock or a big wave hits them, and they fall into the ocean.
And the ocean in Maine is very cold. It is very dangerous.
So what is the rule for our listeners?
The rule is stay on the path. There are railings. A railing is a metal fence to hold on to. Do not climb over the metal fences. Keep a safe distance from the water.
Please listen to that advice. We want you to have a fun trip, not a trip to the hospital.
Or worse. Okay, let us take a break from the danger. Exploring the park makes me hungry. Is there a special food we should try in Acadia?
Oh yes, there is a very famous food tradition in the park.
Where is it?
If you visit Jordan Pond, which is a beautiful, clear lake, there is a restaurant right next to it. It is called the Jordan Pond House.
And what do they serve there?
They are famous for popovers.
Popovers? What a cute name. What is a popover?
It is a type of bread, or a pastry. It is made with very simple ingredients, eggs, milk, and flour.
Okay, sounds like normal bread.
But it is baked in a very special tall pan in a very hot oven. When it bakes, the hot steam inside makes the dough pop over the side of the pan.
Ah, so it pops over. That explains the name perfectly.
Yes. It grows very tall. It is very light and puffy. And the inside is actually hollow. It is empty inside.
How do you eat it?
They serve it to you hot, right out of the oven. You break it open, and you eat it with butter and sweet strawberry jam.
That sounds delicious.
It is. And usually you drink a cup of hot tea with it.
Is this a new trendy thing to do?
No, it is a very old tradition. People have been doing this at the Jordan Pond House since the late 1800s.
Over 100 years.
Yes. Just imagine sitting outside on a green lawn, looking at the clear blue lake and the round mountains, eating a warm popover with jam.
I'm definitely putting that on my travel list.
Just remember, it is very popular. The parking lot fills up very fast.
Yo, what should we do? Take the shuttle.
Take the shuttle. It stops right in front of the restaurant.
The free shuttle really is the answer to everything in this park.
It really is.
Okay, so we have eaten our popovers. Now we have a lot of energy to exercise. Let us talk about hiking. Acadia has some very famous hiking trails, but our sources say some of them are pretty scary.
Yes. Acadia is famous for a very specific type of trail. These trails go straight up steep cliffs.
Cliffs. A cliff is a straight, vertical wall of rock. How do you climb up a cliff without using ropes?
You use iron rungs.
Iron rungs. Let us explain that vocabulary for our listeners. Iron is a strong, heavy metal. A rung is a step on a ladder.
Exactly. Imagine a tall metal ladder. But instead of a ladder you can move around, the steps are drilled directly into the solid rock. They are permanently stuck in the stone.
So you have to climb the side of the mountain like you are climbing a ladder.
Yes. You grab the iron metal rung with your hand, you put your foot on another rung, and you slowly pull yourself up the cliff face.
That sounds completely terrifying.
Well, it is thrilling for some people who like adventure, but it is definitely terrifying for others.
What are the names of these trails?
The most famous trails with iron rungs are the Precipice Trail and the Beehive Trail.
The precipice and the beehive. Let us start with the precipice.
The precipice is the big one. It climbs up the side of Champlain Mountain. It is very exposed.
Exposed. That means there is nothing around you.
Right. There are no trees to hide the height. You are literally hanging on the side of the bare rock, looking straight down at the ocean below you.
And what about the beehive?
The beehive is smaller, but it is still very steep. The mountain actually looks like a beehive. It is round and bumpy, and you climb straight up the front of it.
So who should not do these hikes?
If you are afraid of heights, do not do these hikes,
Totally.
seriously.
Skip them.
Yes, because once you start climbing up, it is very hard to turn around. The path is narrow. Other people are climbing up behind you. You have to keep going up.
And what about families with children?
I would not recommend it for small children. You need long arms and legs to reach the metal rungs, and you need to be very careful. One slip could be fatal.
Fatal, meaning you could die. Okay, my hands are sweating just
Yeah.
thinking about it. For our listeners who want a nice, relaxing walk, what is the alternative?
There are plenty of easy options. We already talked about the carriage roads. Those are wide, flat, and very safe.
Right, no cars.
But there's also the ocean path.
The ocean path. That sounds very nice.
It is lovely. It goes right along the rocky coast. It is mostly flat. You can see the cliffs, you can hear the ocean waves, and you can even walk all the way to Thunderhole on it.
But your feet stay on the flat ground.
Yes. No iron ladders, no hanging off cliffs.
That sounds perfect for me. Are there other easy paths?
The Jordan Pond Path is another great one. It goes in a circle right around the lake. It is very flat and easy. It even has nice wooden boardwalks to walk on so your feet stay dry. It is about 3 miles long.
So there really is something for everyone. You could be a daredevil hanging on the cliffs, or you can just relax and look at the water on the ocean path.
Exactly. That is the great beauty of Acadia.
Now, imagine we have explored the park all day. We are very tired. We need to sleep. Where do we stay?
This is the logistics of sleeping. There are 2 main choices for visitors: camping or staying in hotels.
Let us start with camping. For our listeners, a campsite is a designated place outdoors where you put up your tent or park your RV. An RV is a recreational vehicle, like a house on wheels.
Right. There are beautiful campgrounds right inside the national park. The most popular one is Blackwoods Campground.
Blackwoods.
It is on the east side of the island. It is very close to the Park Loop Road and the town of Bar Harbor. It is deep in the tall woods, but you can actually walk from your tent down to the ocean.
That sounds wonderful. And is there another one?
Yes, Seawall Campground. It is on what locals call the quiet side of the island. That is the west side.
Why is it the quiet side?
Because it is further away from the main town, so it is less crowded. It is near the ocean, too, but the coast is rockier and wilder there.
Do we need reservations for camping?
Yes, absolutely. Just like the Cadillac Mountain Drive, These campgrounds are incredibly popular.
So we need to plan ahead.
Yes, they fill up months in advance. You need to book your campsite on that same website, recreation.gov.
So do not just drive into the park with your tent hoping to find an empty spot.
No, you will not find one. You will have to sleep in your car outside the park.
Okay, good to know. Now, what if I do not want to sleep on the hard ground in a tent? What if I want a soft bed, a warm room, and a hot shower?
Then you want to stay in Bar Harbor. That is the main tourist town right next to the park entrance.
Are there normal hotels there?
There are many places to stay. But in Maine, they often call them inns or cottages instead of hotels.
Let us define inn. I-N-N. That is a small hotel, usually with a traditional or historic feel to it.
One of the most famous places is the Bar Harbor Inn.
The sources say it is very fancy.
It is. It is historic and very luxurious. It is built right on the edge of the water. You can sit on your balcony and watch the sailboats go by, but it is quite expensive.
And what is a cottage?
A cottage is a small, standalone house. For example, our sources mention the salt cottages.
The salt cottages?
Yes. These are cute, individual little houses. They have fun retro style. It feels more like renting a tiny home than staying in a standard hotel room.
That sounds charming. But whether you camp in a tent or stay in a fancy inn, what is the golden rule?
Book early.
How early are we talking?
Months. If you want to visit the park in July or August, which is the busiest time, you should book your room in January or February.
Wow. Acadia really is popular.
It is very popular, but it is entirely worth the effort.
So let us recap what we have learned today. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We certainly have. We started by talking about the glaciers, the giant sheets of ice that carved the U-shaped valleys 14,000 years ago.
And we talked about the indigenous Wabanaki people, the original people who have practiced stewardship of the land for 10,000 years.
We learned about the shuttle system, the Island Explorer. It is completely free, and it helps you avoid all the heavy traffic on the Park Loop Road.
We talked about the beautiful carriage roads, the quiet dirt roads that John D. Rockefeller Jr. built just for horses and bicycles because he hated noisy cars.
We learned a critical travel skill, getting a vehicle reservation online for the summit of Cadillac Mountain.
Especially if you want to be the first person to see the sunrise. Do not forget to print your ticket because the internet is bad up there.
Right, and we learned about the ocean tides at Thunderhole. Remember to go 1 or 2 hours before high tide to hear the loud boom.
And always be careful of the slippery, wet rocks. Stay behind the metal railings.
We talked about the scary iron rungs you can climb on the Precipice Trail and the delicious warm popovers you can eat at Jordan Pond.
And finally, we discussed the choice between booking a campsite in the deep woods or a historic inn in the town of Bar Harbor.
It is a lot of English vocabulary to remember, but if you remember these keywords, you will be very prepared for your trip.
Before we finish, I want to ask you a question as our explorer today. What is the one thing that stands out to you most about Acadia National Park from all our sources?
You know, for me, it is the mix of things. Usually, a national park is just wild, empty nature. But Acadia is a unique mix of nature and human history.
What do you mean?
Well, you have the ancient wild granite rocks and the powerful ocean. That is pure nature. But right next to it, you have the beautiful stone bridges and the carriage roads built by people.
I see.
You have the deep ancient history of the Wabanaki people. And you also have the newer history of the wealthy summer tourists eating popovers. It feels like a place where people and nature have lived together for a very long time.
That is a beautiful thought. It is a partnership between the land and the people.
Exactly. And the landscape is actually still changing today. The ocean is still carving the rocks.
And now it is your turn, listener. If you visit Acadia, you become part of that story too.
You do.
You become a steward of the land for the few days you are there. Your choices matter. Taking the free shuttle helps keep the air clean. Staying on the trail keeps the plants safe.
So treat the park with respect, do not leave any trash behind, and definitely enjoy the sunrise.
And try the popovers.
Definitely try the popovers.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned some useful English and got inspired to go outside and explore.
Safe travels, everyone. Enjoy your adventures.
See you next time.